Hi Studio Art. Welcome back to some more of our work on color. I'm going to be giving you in this video a lot of information, even though I'm asking you really as a result of this video to just put together one page in your sketchbook. But the page is going to be full of vocabulary terms about the way we put colors together, like analogous, color triads, split complements, warm and cool colors. Okay, to this point, of course, you did your color wheel, which you're going to need to be able to refer to in order to do this work. And we broke down some other vocabulary terms from the color wheel, like primary colors and secondary, tertiary, etc. So you kind of touched on, when you did your drawing, the idea of what happens when you limit your color palette, in that case to just complementary colors, and how that comes out. And limiting your color palette and being thoughtful about what colors you use in a piece of artwork or in design, or in furniture design or interior design, is really important. The temptation as artists, or when we put things together to this point, might always be to just, grab whatever color you can find and or use all the colors. You're in the middle of a painting and you're like, well, I used blue and I used red and I used orange and I used yellow and I used green, I better use purple. But actually we're gonna think about limiting our colors to 3 or 4 colors and using some specific color harmonies that we put together, okay? What I'm gonna want you to do for your work in your sketchbook is to, on a page in your sketchbook, you're gonna put these 5 terms down, and then you're gonna use your color, whatever you're using for color. In my case, I grabbed these gouache paints, which I really like the way they came out on the page. They have this nice opacity, and then they have a nice dull feel to them, and then you can really play with the transparency of it. So I'm going to use these a lot moving forward. So let's talk first about analogous colors. So again, referring to your color wheel, I'm going to grab this color wheel. An analogous color scheme is a group of colors that are next to each other on a color wheel. So an analogous color scheme might be like violet and red and orange. Just kind of 3 or 4 colors that might be right next to each other. That's an analogous color scheme. The next term I want you to know is a triadic color scheme. A triadic color scheme are 3 colors, in this case, orange, purple, green, that are equidistant from each other around the color wheel, which means they're the farthest from each other. That will give you a lot of contrast. So a triadic combination might be blue, yellow, and red, or purple, green, and orange, okay? Or a tertiary, like blue, purple, yellow, green, and red, orange. That would be it. So imagine if you triangulated to create your color triad. The next term I want you to know is split complement, okay? Split complements are really cool. These are used in design a lot because, unlike analogous color schemes where everything seems to be kind of the same, or triadic color schemes where everything's really different, a split complement is a nice combination of the two. You get the contrast of a color, and then you get 2 analogous colors that are split around the color's complement. So in the example of this, you've got your color blue, and then the complement of blue, as we know, is orange. And then if you went on either side of orange, you'd have your yellow orange and your red orange. So this would be a triadic combination, a split complement combination. So when you think split complement, it's take a color, go to its complement, split to the tertiary colors on either side of it, and you use those 2 colors. Okay, I'm going to show it to you on the color wheel. If I was wanting to create a split complement color scheme and I love the color yellow, I would go to yellow, and then I would use these 2 colors on either side of its complement, the blue violet and the red violet. And it gives you this nice pleasing bit of contrast so that your main color really pops out, and then the other colors are more muted version of its complement, which gives you less kind of, intensity. The last 2 I want you to think about are cool colors and warm colors, okay? Those are pretty intuitive. Cooler colors have blue in them, warmer colors have yellow and red in them, okay? So on a page in your sketchbook with some material you're happy with, colored pencils or markers or gouache or acrylic paint or whatever you've got around your house, I want you to give examples of these 5 terms, visual color examples on a page in your sketchbook. And then we're going to take these terms and we're going to put them to use in some artwork later in the week. I gathered some things I found around the house, and you could do this too once you get these terms in your mind in design and art where they're put to use. So I got this plate. Here's this Italian ceramica plate. Although it's got a little bit of this tealish color, it's got a lot of contrast in it, right? This is really a triadic color scheme. It's like red, blue, yellow. Now they're earthen tones because it's ceramics, but it's that yellow, that blue, and that red that make it really pop. Similarly, as an example of a triadic color scheme, this Warhol book, that great Pepsi-Cola sign from way back when. Signage is always wanting to have a lot of contrast and emphasis. So when you want that pop and that contrast and emphasis, that's when you'd use a triadic color scheme. Then I am actually, I say you can judge a book by its cover. Here's this book, Daring Greatly. So what do you think of this? You know, forget the gray tone, but this Daring Greatly, it's almost right off the color wheel, this little analogous spread here from the blue through the green through the yellow. Okay. And here's this great John Irving. It's kind of an obscure John Irving novel. Not that many know this one. I've read them all. But you can see it's meant to be cold looking. You know, the photograph is meant to look like this cold winter. So it's all cool colors on there, right? The thinking about color schemes applies to all art forms. Photography, design. Here's another one. Okay, warm color scheme. And the title of the book is The Girl Who Played with Fire, so it's supposed to be hot and fiery. You see it on the bookshelf, you pull it off, it's almost like hot in your hands because it's so warm. Okay, so that's some stuff to think about. Really, your homework is, there's another video attached, it's pretty cool. It's by this Australian guy, and there's some really cool graphics in it. And he talks about these exact terms as they apply to creating your videos and your animation and your design work on the computer. But these terms, they transcend all art and design media. So just put this page together, probably by Wednesday, and then starting Wednesday, I'm gonna give you a more extensive project where you're gonna put these color schemes to use on a little design project in your sketchbook, okay? Remember, the quarter ends Wednesday. If you have pages in your sketchbook that you haven't submitted to me through Google Forms, please make sure you do that, because that last stuff is going to be part of your quarter 3 grade. Hope everybody's doing well, and I'll see you again soon.